I'm a big fan of American history. Very fortunate this summer to take a trip with some members of my family and go to Washington, D.C. and check out a wide variety of the sites, the memorials. One thing in particular, though, I was very excited to see the Constitution and read the Constitution. And it's just amazing to think about what our forefathers, their mindset, their thought processes, and all coming together to develop what we now know as the United States of America and our Constitution. But I can promise you, this is not a political post today. This is not a political video. This has nothing to do with politics or the Constitution. It has to do with a famous quote. Benjamin Franklin has been quoted on a wide variety of things, like a penny saved, a penny earned. So in addition to all these great inventions that this man developed and being one of the founding fathers and contributing to our Constitution, he's also got these quotes and great, discoveries and things along those lines. But the quote that I want to focus on today is something I heard recently. Somebody had said it and it kind of jarred something in me. I want to have a little bit of fun with it today. And it's this. I'm going to read it so I can get it right word for word, and then we'll have some fun with it. So our new Constitution is now established. Everything seems to promise it will be durable. But in this world, nothing is certain except death and taxes. And you have probably heard this if you've been around as long as I have, out here on this earth, 45 years. But I'm going to add a third to that. So this is where James of Pavement Management Group is going to jump on here and add even more to this and bring it into our world. There's actually a third thing that is certain if you are in roadway management, pavement management, road construction, asphalt in particular. Hopefully you're thinking, I want you to get it before I get to it, but here it is. Cracks. Death, taxes, and asphalt cracks in your roadways. Those are the three things in this world that are certain. And here's the deal. While there's really nothing you can do about eliminating cracks in asphalt roadways, that is a part of the process. Asphalt is technically designed to be a flexible product. Concrete rigid, asphalt flexible. When things are flexed under stress and strain, what happens? It's going to crack. The question is, to what degree and how long how long does it take for it to crack? So again, while there's nothing you can do about the asphalt roadway surface itself cracking, what you can do is preventive and preservation activities to delay, mitigate, and what you can do in terms of eliminating is you can actually eliminate the potholes if you do it right. So check this out. While cracks are inevitable, they're going to show up. You can absolutely do something about it. Rejuvenating. We're going to go from top to bottom here. Rejuvenation is number one. It's the top level down. It's my primary wide receiver. It's football season as I'm recording this. So the first thing I want to do after a brand new cold in place recycle, full depth reclamation, mill and overlay, complete replacement, whatever you do to get that new roadway looking beautiful, I want you to rejuvenate that asphalt. I want you to do that within the first few years of its life. Bonus points if you hit it within the first year. That's where I have seen maximum life extension. Why and what? So number one, it's going to penetrate. That rejuvenator should be penetrating into that asphalt surface, sealing it from the top down. Let's just say 1/4 of an inch. I don't have the specs in front of me. And what that's going to do is help delay or mitigate reflection cracks that could be coming up for in a few years. And it's going to help keep that asphalt surface flexible, which is ultimately what we want. That's its goal. It's also going to keep the water out. It's going to help with preventing raveling and oxidation that's going to happen naturally from day one, by the way, of putting that new asphalt surface in. Now, there's always the next man up, right? My secondary wide receiver, if I've got one. So once I've gone through my check downs, I've got the rejuvenation in place. If you do this right, by the way, you can probably hit it twice within the first 5 to 6 years of its life. Once you get past rejuvenation, you've got to crack seal the roadway. You've got to do it because as soon as water, debris, things like that start getting into that crack, if left untreated, what happens? Especially if you're in the northeast or a freeze-thaw climate, that water within those cracks is going to freeze and thaw on repeat over the winter, and it starts to flex, right? And that crack starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger, wider, 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 deeper, deeper, deeper. You get it. So by providing a crack seal at the first sign of cracking within the asphalt surface, you're going to prevent those types of things from happening. Hit that on repeat. Do that about 3 or 4 times, and guess what? Nothing is getting into that pavement surface. You've kept the water out. You've kept it sealed. You're doing what you should be doing from a preventive maintenance perspective. That's how we do it. Now, finally, I'm only going to go 3 deep on this one because if my wide receivers are covered, maybe I can hit the tight end. What does that mean? That means if we get to a point where these cracks are becoming more prevalent, especially if they're climate-related cracks, here's the asterisk here. Here's the big old note, the footnote at the bottom of this video, blog post, podcast. If you failed to keep all the water out or prevent the cracks, for the most part, you're going to get to a situation where load association is starting to happen, stress and strain on that pavement, cracking from the bottom up. That's your alligator cracking, fatigue cracking. You've got ruts or depressions going on in there. These are not going to be viable candidates for these types of products I'm talking about. So I want to make that clear with the asterisk or the footnote here. So, but if you've maintained this road surface and the road continues to crack, you're getting some more climate cracks, and you're maybe in year 7 to 10 of this pavement's life at this point, the next thing you're going to want to do is something like a double microsurfacing or maybe a cape seal, depending on the amount of cracking that you've got, what type of cracking it is, and what your goal is with that specific roadway. If you're trying to stretch this thing out another decade, maybe the cape seal is your best bet. If you need to kind of get it a buy, you want to hit it with 2 applications of, say, a microsurfacing, maybe every 5 to 7 years. That's another route and path and option. But this is where your surface treatments come into play. Very important. Now, as always, the best way to qualify these roadways, because this is the biggest question I get, is like, James, that's all great. It sounds awesome. I can crack seal my roads here. I can crack seal my roads there. Throw in a micro, a cape, a chip seal, a surface treatment. The problem that they have is it's like, I've got 100 miles of roads out there at all various ages, probably different conditions. Historically, like, I don't know where the opportunities live. So this is that selfish plug at this point to say, look, if you don't have an accurate inventory or account of your pavement history, and you don't know your current conditions, and you're struggling to project where things are going, here's your sign. Now it's time to step into a tried and true pavement management program. Above and beyond software, above and beyond putting some conditions on a map, you need something that you can know, like, and trust. It's going to get you to the next level. Help you qualify the roads for the right treatments. Help quantify the ROI, return on that investment of your budget every year. Help satisfy your clients. Help satisfy your council. Help satisfy the mayor, and build better roadway networks. That's my take today. Again, death, taxes, and asphalt cracks. We'll have some fun with that one. Until the next one.